welcome back to another episode of the Soma Sports Broadcast. I am here with
Jaden,
Brandon, Philip,
and of course I am Benny. And let's get started with Soma's Tusker varsity football, where in the first round of the playoffs they took on Clarkson South, and it started with Mason Kelly rushing touchdown for Somers to go up 7-0 early in the first quarter. Then Miguel Iglesias throws to Dean Palazzolo for an unbelievable catch for a touchdown to go up 14-0. Then Miguel Iglesias gets a touchdown for Somers to go up 20-0. Runs it in there. Then Mason Kelly runs it in for another TD for Somers to go up 27-0 at halftime. And this is playoffs, so very impressive by Somers. In the second half, Somers is able to score one more touchdown to lead 34-0. Somers does not score any more points after that, but holds the Vikings to 0 points in a shutout to win 34-0 in the first round of the playoffs. So very impressive, and congratulations to Somers for winning. All right, so now we are going to go to our post-game interviews from that game.
All right, I'm with
Nicky Duffy.
Dean Palazzolo.
All right, so how did your practice contribute to today?
I'd say that we had to practice hard and we had to practice strong.
We had a great practice week, and that's all it was.
What was the key to beating Clarkstown South?
Going back to practice, we had to practice really tough, and to beat Clarkstown South, we had to practice, and just add on that, in order to prepare, we had to practice.
We just went out there, we played tough, we played as a team, and pretty much beat anybody.
Now, what was the most challenging part of today's game?
I'm gonna say that just keeping the momentum and keeping it going. Obviously, we practiced for this, but we need to just stay focused and on the game.
Keeping it there mentally, they were a tough physical team, but they were kind of hitting us dirty sometimes, but we didn't recall and keep going. Yeah.
All right, thanks so much, guys. Congrats.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
All right, I'm with
Logan Ruby, Dean Barlanti.
All right, so what was the key to beating Clarkstown South?
Honestly, it was our coaches. The game plan that we had going into this game I think it was perfect. We shut down everything on defense. We ran the right plays on offense, and based on the scoreboard, did a great job.
And teamwork, man. We're going at it all day,
lot of teamwork.
every day.
Awesome. How do you feel the week's preparation went before the game, and how did that contribute today?
Honestly, it was just like a normal practice week. Watch film, and practice a lot of stuff they do, and just got ready for today.
Yep.
Yeah, pretty much. That's it.
All right, and what was the most challenging part of tonight's game?
Honestly, keeping the momentum coming out of halftime. Our first two games, we kind of struggled with that, and we kind of made it our motto. It's just coming out of half, it's 0-0. It's a brand new football game. We just got to keep working as hard as we would if it was at the start of the game.
And we run into the locker room every halftime just to be we're not done. We're not done. We're not done.
Awesome. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank
Good
you.
luck next week.
Thank you.
All right, I'm with
Coach Vin or Mr. D.
All right, so you sounded a little hoarse. How'd that happen today?
So, we got a lot of on-field adjustments that got to be made. If they're changing stuff offensively and we got to adjust our defense from there or get different personnel groupings and we're echoing those coverages and stuff like that. It also comes down to special teams, getting those corrections on the field and off the field. And yeah, we just got a lot of corrections to be made. They're a talented football team, and we got to do what we got to do to, stay prepared. And when they're when they're doing different things out there, we got to be able to adjust.
With so much recent success, do you feel any extra pressure going into these playoff games?
There's always the pressure of, we've been the two-time reigning champs, and we're now 9-0 going into our second playoff game. But we just look at it as a faceless opponent every time. We go out there, we're going to prepare on Sunday and do what we need to do, prepare for the winner of Harrison versus Mayapack, and we're going to take it to the practice field, do what we need to do out there to be able to execute our plays so that when it comes to Friday night, our kids are healthy and they're ready to rock.
All right, and I know you guys put a large emphasis on the scout team. How did they help you prepare for today, and how important is that?
Our scout team is tremendous, and they fully bought into it. The most important thing we have here is our scout team. Our scout team gives us the ability to show whatever plays the other team is running. That could be offensively, defensively, and on special teams. So our scout team helps our ones and twos out there, so when they're on the field, they're able to see exactly what we've seen through practice. So there's nothing tricky out there for them, and they're able to play confident and fast.
Awesome. And last question, how do you feel overall playing Clarkson South today?
You know, the Clarkson South is a talented team. We kind of took it to them today. I think we executed well. We'll get a ton of corrections here tomorrow on Saturday when we come in for film so that we're prepared and ready to go versus Harrison versus Mayapack.
Awesome. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you, Jaden.
Congrats.
Thank you, guys.
All right, I'm with.
Gianna Morales and Abigail Baboni.
How do you feel you did today overall?
I think we had a very good game today. We were very excited to play. Yeah, we had a great day. For our senior night, it was tremendous, yeah.
All right, and how do you guys prepare for a game?
I usually get some McDonald's. If I'm feeling good that day, I'll get some Bobos, stretch a little. So I do like drills to improve our skills. Yeah, we'll do drills as a team and stretches.
All right, awesome. And last question, what do you think is the strongest aspect of the team?
I think people's energy. Well, on and off the court, it relies on people's energy. I think it's our bond as a team mentally and like as a friendship, as a family, you know?
All right, awesome. Thank you.
All right, so next we're going to predict this week's playoff game, Somers versus Harrison. I'll start us off. I have Somers winning this game 35-10.
All right, so I have Somers. I think Somers, despite that Harrison has their best player back, Somers still beat Harrison pretty good, 40-3. I think they're with their best player back, number one. It's going to be more challenging for Somers, so I do have Somers coming to a slow start, and I think it will be like 21-14.5, but in halftime, Somers will dominate to win 40-14 in the second half, and Somers scores 5 touchdowns and gets 1 safety and a field goal.
I got Somers winning 42-14. I know they have their best player back, but if you've seen throughout the season, Somers never really loses, never really has a slow start, so I think it'll be 42-14.
Now I think Somers is going to win 42-8. Looking at previous games against Harrison, Harrison hasn't been doing so well. The number one player, he is back, but he's not 100% recovered, and so I'm not sure how much he's going to play. Not sure how well he's going to play, but I think Somers can still take it this time.
All right, so if Somers wins this game, or whoever wins this game, Somers versus Harrison, we play the winner of the Rye versus Yorktown varsity football game, and we're going to predict that as well. So I'm going to get started. So I have Rye beating Yorktown 38-13.
I have Rye beating Yorktown 28-17.
I have an upset for some reason. I don't know. I just felt like doing that. I have Yorktown beating Rye 35-27. I always like rooting for the underdog, so I'm just going to go with them.
And I'm thinking that Rye is going to win 42-6. I know Yorktown's kind of good, but Rye is just a really strong opponent for everyone, to be honest.
Yeah. And if Somers plays Rye next week, it's going to be the battle of the 2 undefeated teams. Rye is going to be a tough opponent in the bracket championship. So, next up, we're going to have varsity football assistant coach, Coach Packard, here for Nintendo. All right, folks, so we are here with Coach Packard, who will be interviewing today, and let's get started. So the first question I have for you is, what inspired you to become a coach?
Appreciate it, buddy. I just want to say real quick, I appreciate this whole club doing what you're doing, celebrating all your peers and your student athletes out there as you explore this thing that you're really excited and passionate about. It's amazing to see you guys take off the way you have. And I think in the same, when I was a kid, I wanted to become a coach kind of at a young age. I loved the sport of football very, very young. And then as I got to your age and thinking about what I wanted to do, kind of narrowed my head around I wanted to coach and be a teacher. And so it was a combination of a lot of things growing up. But my dad was a coach of some different sports, but also of a lot of my friends in our youth. And certainly he was always an amazing role model for me growing up.
All right. How did you work up to where you are now as a coach?
I started coaching lacrosse in college, and then in 2005, modified football with Coach Cleary as a 7th grader, and then quickly moved to the varsity. I was helping in the background for a year, and then moved up to a varsity role. And by 2007, I started kind of in my current coaching capacity. So I started kind of from those first few steps and spent a lot of summers learning.
All right. And so what role do you play as a coach?
So I'm a defensive line coach, and I've done that for a long time. And then on offense, I've been a offensive line coach for a long time with Coach Mike. And then in the past 8 years or so, I've kind of become a bit more of a jack of all trades, whatever's needed from the staff as our offense has evolved and our staff has evolved, and I've kind of just pick up wherever is needed on the offense. So still a lot of work with the offensive line, but backs in the backfield, perimeter blocking, I kind of pick up a lot of things. And then I started coaching special teams a few years back, and now share that in a really fun way with Coach Vinny and his brother.
Very cool. And how do you prepare your players for a game?
It begins on Saturdays as we come off the last one. We make sure our bodies are healthy. We start to review mistakes and make sure we're not repeating mistakes to the next week. And then we are on to the next one, and we are thinking about how we're going to stop an opponent, and then we're going to move the ball against an opponent using film. We will come up with something that we think kids will be successful trying to do over the course of the week. And on Monday and Tuesday, we're installing that in a very physical manner, where we are servicing each other, the whole man roster, trying to figure out how to best attack an opponent and defend an opponent. And as we move on to the week, we are going through a review process where we are very engaged in a mental capacity throughout Thursday and into our pregame on Friday. And when the lights go on, then it's time to make sure that we are emotionally charged to the task.
All right, so what about coaching do you enjoy the most?
I think that's got to be the personal relationships you develop with student athletes and their families. It's been a real privilege to get to know a lot of amazing Somers families in this capacity.
All right. How long have you been coaching at Somers?
2005 was my first season. That's when I started out of college. A privilege of so many to be able to reach out to Coach DiMatteo as a young man looking for work as I got out of college, and he had asked me if I would come coach his modified football team and take a sub position in Somers, and I did take that, and then I just never happened to leave, and that was my first year.
Amazing. All right. And what is your proudest moment as a coach?
They probably come from some private moments and conversations with some families, both and during our time together and some after. But if I had to point at just one thing, I am very proud of the fact that I got to coach with Tony DiMatteo for much of his Somers run here, as well as the coach with the guys that I coach with. I feel very, very lucky and blessed to have the relationships that I have with the guys that I get to coach with. Coach DiMatteo fostered an environment here that allowed us to collaborate at a really fun way, and we continue that. And I'm very proud of my time with Coach DiMatteo, and I'm very proud to be part of Coach Anthony DiMatteo's beginning of his career as a head coach. It's very much something that I'll always take a lot of pride in, that I was able to be part of both his last Coach DiMatteo's last chapter of his long career at Somers and Anthony's beginning.
All right. How do you feel about the season?
So certainly a lot of wins are fun, and it's the goal. Very proud of how we've advanced and moved along to improve. And the roles and responsibilities a lot of kids are embracing. Our season doesn't end when our schedule ends. Our season with our kids extends through their school year. So we have the 24-25 team, and that means we are with our players ensuring that they are the best they can be in the classroom, in our school community, into their other seasons. We're very proud that our kids are multi-sport athletes. We have a long year ahead that extends far beyond our schedule. It will be a journey with them through their spring as they move towards graduation and to their next academic years here. But it is, so far, I'm very proud of where we've begun this school year.
All right, well, thank you for coming today.
again, appreciate you guys. It is something that we feel in our program for a long time. Our program is not just for our student athletes and their families, it's a product for our school community. We have a lot of kids that are not necessarily on our football roster, but very, very much embedded in our school program. Curtis Dustin is someone that works in our tech support and plays a vital role with us. Tyler Fazio as well in our setup and breakdown. Danielle Donnelly in her work as a student manager. All these roles are just things that we are always willing and ready to embrace. We look for anybody that wants to be a part of celebrating student athletes in this school community. You've all done an amazing job of that so far in starting this club and your broadcast.
Thank you.
We really do appreciate your celebrating your peers and creating this for a lot more opportunities for Somers kids. And we're always looking for anybody that wants to be a part of our program in any way that they want to.
All right, folks, so this past week, we're recording this as of November 8th, but this past week was the NFL trade deadline, and I'm going to be sharing you the latest news, the news that went down right before the trade deadline. And first, I'm going to get started with some non-trade news, and this is something I've been waiting for 3 years. I used to be a big Saints fan after Drew Brees and Sean Payton left, not so much, and then this guy came in and has coached the Saints 3 years, and the Saints have never done good under him, so they finally fired Dennis Allen after 3 years, finally. So I can finally start to look forward for the Saints' future again, as they're a top team of mine next to the Patriots. Patriots obviously number one. The next news is Dak Prescott has a hamstring injury, and he'll be sidelined out for 4 weeks, so Dak Prescott will be out for the Cowboys, and shame for Brandon. Cowboys season not looking so good.
Dak Prescott wasn't doing well either, so
Yeah.
maybe it'll be better without him.
Who knows? Trey Lance may come in, and even though he's not even starting, Trey Lance may come in and revive his career. So now to the trade deadline news. The Jets trade wide receiver Mike Williams, as I got Devontae Adams a few weeks ago. They didn't need Mike Williams anymore. They trade Mike Williams to the Steelers. The Saints, after firing their coach, trade Marshawn Lattimore to the Commanders. It does look like they may be tanking. The Cowboys trade for wide receiver Jonathan Mingo. The Ravens trade for Devontae Johnson from the Panthers. So that's the news, and now to my Fast 3 Minutes. Let's get started with the Fast 3 Minutes. Buccaneers taking on the Chiefs Super Bowl 55 rematch, but it was the DeAndre Hopkins show. Not one touchdown, but 2 touchdowns for him in this game, but tied at 24 going into overtime. But the Chiefs are able to drive down the field, and Kareem Hunt gets the game-winning touchdown. Chiefs win 30-24. Chiefs remain undefeated at 8-0. On Halloween night, it was a rematch of the game I went to last year. The Jets, the Texans. The Jets won 30-6 last time, and this time it was the Jets again. Garrett Wilson with an unbelievable catch. Devontae Adams with a touchdown. Jets win 21-13. Packers-Lions, a division game in a great division this season. It's the first outdoor game for the Lions this year, but no issue for the Lions. 4th down, Amon St. Brown with the touchdown. Lions are up 7-3. Just before this, a pick. Lions go on to win. They win 24-14. Bills-Dolphins. The Dolphins played the Bills tough. Josh Allen and the Bills offense plays great in the second half in this game. Up 27-20, but Tua, he will go to Jalen Waddle, ties it at 27. But the Bills get the ball in field goal range. Bills kick the winning field goal. They win 30-27. John Harbaugh and Sean Payton, 2 coaches that have been around in a while in the NFL, but today it was Lamar Jackson and the Ravens who stomped all over the Broncos. Ravens win 41-10. Anders Giants. It was the Jaden Daniels show again. Giants made it close at the end, but Jaden Daniels to Terry McLaurin. Commanders are 7-2. Doug Peterson heading back to Philadelphia, wanting to win this revenge game against his former team, but it was Saquon Barkley carrying the Eagles. Hurts throws to Smith. Eagles go on to win. They're 6-2. Jaguars are 2-7. Cowboys, Falcons. Cowboys were in it for a bit, but it was domination by Kirk Cousins and the Atlanta Falcons. Cowboys make it close at the end. Falcons win 27-21. Hail coming down in Arizona, but that was no issue for Kyler Murray and the Arizona Cardinals. There goes James Conner on the one for the touchdown. Cardinals dominate. They win 29-9. Rams Seahawks. This game was a thrill that came down right to the end, but at the end it was the Rams who got it done. Rams are 4-4. Seahawks have lost 5 after going 3-0. The Browns beat John Harbaugh and the Ravens last week, but his brother Jim Harbaugh and the Chargers will get the revenge. Chargers win. Raiders Bengals, a great day by Joe Burrow and the Bengals. Bengals are back in it. They're 4-5. A battle of the two bottom teams in the AFC, and it went into overtime, but it was the Titans who was able to get it done on a game-winning field goal. Titans win 20-17. The Saints take on the Panthers. Chuba Hubbard will get it in. Panthers? They're gonna win, and Dennis Allen will finally be fired. It's about time. And finally, on Sunday Night Football, Sam Darnold throws to Addison there, but it's the Vikings defense who is able to stop the Colts offense. Vikings are now 6-2. That is our fastest 3 minutes for this week. See you next week.
So now we have NFL Week 11 predictions. We're all going to pick different games. So I have Chiefs-Bills. I think the Bills are going to come out on top. Obviously, I'm a Bills fan. I think the Bills are going to win 35-31. I know the Chiefs are always better in the playoffs. This is regular season. I think they're finally going to put that undefeated to a stop. So I think the Bills are going to win 35-31. Next, I got an NFC East rivalry. I got the Commanders beating the Eagles 35-32. I could see this going either way. I think it's going to be very close, two very high-powered offenses, but I have the Commanders coming out on top.
Now, next up, I've got Cowboys and Texans. I have the Texans taking this game 42-21. And then Vikings and Titans, I have the Vikings taking this game 41-36.
Alright, so next up for my first game, I have the battle of Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow. A few years ago, this would have been an exciting battle. Still is, I think. And I think the Chargers are going to give the Bengals a fight. If you watched last night's game as of November 8th, that was a great game. It was a shootout, and Bengals, as time was about to expire, scored a touchdown to tie it up. They go for 2 and miss it, and that just shows how the Bengals season has gone so far, as it's no good. And the Ravens, and I was rooting for Burrow and the Bengals so much. The Ravens take the win to win 35-34. Rough loss to the Bengals, but I see them rebounding here. And I think they're going to, this time, beat the Chargers. I think the Bengals are the better team than the Chargers currently. And I think the Chargers are going to play the Bengals tough. It's going to go into overtime, and I think the Bengals win 26-23 in a thriller. And for my second game, I have the Bills and the Chiefs. And last few times when these guys played, it's been during the season, since that shootout versus them a few years ago, it's been more defensive side of the ball, not a ton of points till like the end, the fourth quarter is when points go on the board. But I think, like the last few seasons, the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs here, give the Chiefs their first L of the season, like they have the Bills have beat the Chiefs every time last few times in the regular season, but in the playoffs the Chiefs have been able to become victorious. And I think the Bills are going to beat the Chiefs 24-20.
All right, and for my predictions, I have the Eagles and Commanders as well. But to contradict Philip, I think the score is going to be less. There's going to be less scoring, and the Eagles are going to take it 21-13. Then my next game, just because when we were deciding the scores, there were people saying that the Steelers are really good, and just to contradict that, I said the Ravens win 35-28 against the Steelers.
So now on to NASCAR. So far, coming into Martinsville, so far it has been the 22 of Joey Logano and the 45 of Reddick, who has clinched spots in the championship 4, and 6 drivers are fighting for the final 2 spots. In the first part of the race, it was the 2 drivers of Elliott and Byron battling for the lead. Elliott goes on to win Stage 1. Stage 2 goes to Keselowski. At the final caution, it was Elliott leading, and everyone decides to pit except for Larson and Byron. For Larson, it's a must-win. When we started, Larson passes Byron for the lead, but soon after that, Elliott, who has fresh tires and more gas than Larson, and Byron passes Byron. However, 6-time winner of this season, Kyle Larson fought back to earn his spot, being able to stay ahead of Elliott for a long time. However, Elliott eventually passes Larson, who soon after that gets passed by defending champion Ryan Blaney. Blaney then catches up to Elliott and passes him for the lead. Blaney is able to hold on to the lead to win and advance to the championship 4. Then it was a battle for the final spot in the championship 4 between Byron and Bell. In the final laps, with Byron up by a few points, Bell is able to go around Bubba Wallace and gets pushed into the wall, where he winds up attempting and succeeds the Ross Chastain move to get into the championship 4. However, NASCAR made the rule that that move wasn't allowed. After reviewing it, after the race, the NASCAR officials came to the conclusion that Byron would make the championship 4 and not Bell. So we got Blaney, Logano, Byron, and Reddick battling for a championship this weekend in Phoenix. So I want to know, what are your predictions order-wise and championship-wise? Jaden.
All right, so I think for fourth, Reddick claims the spot, and then third, Logano. Second, Byron, and then 2024 champion, Ryan Blaney. And I think my choices are a little influenced by Ryan Blaney taking the Pocono Raceway Championship, Pocono Raceway, and took it for a win. And yeah, those are my choices. What about you, Phil?
In fourth place, I got Blaney. I'm not too knowledgeable on NASCAR, but that's just what I thought. I was looking at some. They're all really good. They're all really close. In third place, I was thinking about switching this with second. I got Byron, and in second I got Reddick. I was gonna switch them, but I wasn't too sure. In the championship, I have Logano taking it. Not really too much of a hot take. No one really. Actually, it is a hot take. No one's really gonna expect that. That's what I put. What about you, Brandon?
All right, in fourth place, I have Byron. In third place, Reddick. Second place, Logano, leaving us with Blaney, the 2024 NASCAR champion.
All right, folks. So I'm going to get started with fourth place, and I think it's going to go to Tyler Reddick. I just think it's his first time he's been in the championship 4. He doesn't have enough experience yet. Elliott did go and do that the first time he was in the championship 4, but I just feel like new team, first time this team is in the championship 4, first time Reddick's in the championship 4. I don't see him. I could even see him not even finishing the race. So Reddick comes in fourth, and the top 3 I see battling for the championship in the final laps. I think it will be Blaney leading, and then Logano is going to pass him. It's going to be a battle between the Penske drivers, but right behind them is William Byron. As Blaney leads, Logano passes him, and as Logano starts to pull away, Byron passes Blaney and catches up and passes Logano with a few laps left, and that's where I got William Byron as the 2024 champion, if you really think about it. So Blaney did just win last week, but Blaney and Logano, they're both on the same team. William Byron, a Hendrick driver, the only Hendrick driver to make the championship 4, and they're a top team in NASCAR, and they're going to focus just on him. So he's a big threat. So that's a big reason why I have Byron winning. Logano has good experience and also has had the longest time to prepare for this race as he advanced first. So that's why I think it's going to either be Byron or Logano, but I got Byron. All right, so next we are going to be predicting the NFL playoffs if they started today, and I'm going to go first here. So in the wild card, currently you have the Texans as the 4 seed, Ravens at the 5 seed. I see Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. I think they would take that. Bills, Broncos. Bills the 2 seed, Broncos the 7 seed. I think the Bills beat the Broncos there. Bills are a better team. Steelers, Chargers. I think the Steelers win that. Falcons and Eagles now in the NFC. I think the Eagles win that. Commanders, Packers. I think the Commanders would win that. And Cardinals, Vikings. I think it's going to be Sam Darnold and the Vikings who would upset the Cardinals there. It would be a close, good game, though. Now to the divisional round, the Chiefs and the Ravens. I have the Chiefs beating the Ravens. Bills, Steelers. I think the Bills, like they did last year, will beat the Steelers. Lions, Eagles. I think the Lions will beat the Eagles. They do have Aiden Hutchinson back in the playoffs, so they're going to be much more of a threat. And Commanders, Vikings. I think it's going to be the Commanders who beat the Vikings. Now the championship games. Bills, Chiefs. As much as I want to predict the Bills here, it's going to be the Chiefs, as much as I hate to admit it. So Chiefs go back to the Super Bowl. And then Commanders, Lions. I think the Lions get it done. Lions have been a great team this year. And now in the Super Bowl, Chiefs versus Lions. I'm actually think it's not going to be a three-peat for the Chiefs, as I got the Lions beating the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. The Lions are in my opinion, if the NFL playoffs ended today, Super Bowl champions.
All right. Next up, we're going to start in our wild card round. So we've got the Texans playing the Ravens, the 4 and 5 seed. I have the Ravens taking that game. 3 seed versus 6 seeds, Steelers versus Chargers. That one's going to be the Steelers advancing. And then we have the Bills, 2 seed, Broncos, 7 seed. I have the Bills winning that game. Bringing us to our division round on that. That brings in the first seed Chiefs to play the 5 seed Ravens. That game is going to be taken by the Chiefs. After that, we have the 3 seed Steelers against the 2 seed Bills. I think the Bills are going to be taking that game, bringing us to Chiefs versus Bills in the conference championship. And I think that the Chiefs, sadly, will be taking that game and advancing to the Super Bowl. On the other side, we have the 4 seed Cardinals against the 5 seed Vikings. The Vikings are going to win that game. And then we have the 3 seed Falcons and the 6 seed Eagles. I think the Eagles are going to take that game. And we have the 2 seed Commanders and the 7 seed Packers. I think it's pretty clear that the Commanders are going to take that game. So since we have the 1st, 5th, 6th, and 2nd seed, the 1st seed Lions are going to play the 6th seed Eagles, and the Vikings and Commanders will play. So Lions versus Eagles, the Lions are going to take that game. And then we have Commanders versus Vikings, which will be Commanders winning. Bringing us to our conference championship once again with Lions, Commanders. Commanders are going to win. I think a lot of people are thinking Lions, but I don't think so. I think the Commanders can do it. Bringing us to Chiefs, Commanders in the Super Bowl. And unfortunately, as much as we hate to say it, I think the Chiefs are going to be Super Bowl champions once again.
Now, I'm going to do the NFL playoff prediction on the AFC side of things. We have the Texans, Ravens. Should be really, really obvious right here. I think it's going to be the Ravens unless Derrick Henry has some massive injury. I don't really think it's going to be anything on that. Then we have Steelers, Chargers. I think the Steelers are going to come out on top. Solid defense. I know Justin Herbert's supposed to be really, really good. He is pretty good, but I think that Steelers defense with T.J. Watt's going to hold him back. We have Bills, Broncos. I feel like this is the easiest game to predict. Obviously, for me, I'm a Bills fan, so I'm going to obviously go the Bills. Now we're on the NFC side of the wild card. We have the Cardinals, Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to take this. Cardinals are looking really good, but I don't know. I'm starting to like the Vikings a little bit more, and I'm going to go with them. Then we have the Falcons, Eagles. I'm going to go with the Eagles on this one. Saquon Barkley has been amazing on that, behind that Eagles O-line. I think it's going to be great. And then we have Commanders versus the Packers. Should be the Commanders. Commanders are looking fantastic. Jaden Daniels looking honestly MVP level. I don't really think he's going to get MVP, but he's looking really, really solid. So now we're going to go back to the AFC side, the divisional round. We have the Chiefs versus Ravens. Normally, I would go with the Chiefs. I know I'm a Bills fan, but a little upset. I'm going to go with the Ravens. I love the underdogs, and I think the Ravens are going to take it. Next, we got Steelers, Bills. Last year, I think it was 31-10 Bills or whatever in the cold, and I still think that the Bills are going to do it again. Now we're back on the NFC side. We're going to the division. So now we have the Lions versus Eagles. Both these teams looking fantastic this year. I'm going to go with the Lions. And then we have the Commanders versus the Vikings. I'm going to take the Commanders. They're looking fantastic. All these teams are looking really good. I think it's going to be the Commanders to take it. Then in the NFC Championship, it's going to be Lions, Commanders. I'm going to take the Lions. I know most people are thinking the Commanders are doing good. And also the Lions are doing good, but I'm going to take them. Then we're back on the AFC Championship. We have right here we have the Ravens versus the Bills. It's going to sound low biased, probably because it is, but I'm going to go with the Bills. Honestly, I think Josh Allen's the better quarterback. Yes, it's biased, but I don't really care too much. And then in the Super Bowl, I have the Bills and the Lions playing. I think right here, Josh Allen's going to get his first Super Bowl ring and Super Bowl MVP. I think all those receivers are all going to show up and do their job, and I think the Bills are going to be the Super Bowl champions.
Now we have our results. So last week we did a fantasy football challenge, and here are our results. So in last place, it was me with 82.4 points. And fourth was Brandon with 85.4 points. And third was Philip with 90.68 points. Second was Jaden with 94.36 points. And the winner was Chris with 97 points. Not here with us today, but crazy thing is, last night's game with Jamar Chase and just Joe Burrow, my team's already scored more points than last week as they went off last night. Alright, so now we are on to some NFL history trivia. And I'm going to go here so they don't see the answers. And we're going to do a few questions today and a few more questions next week along with probably another sport. So, first question is, who has won the most Super Bowls out of these options? The Cowboys, A. B. Tom Brady. C. Peyton Manning. D. The Patriots. Or E. The Chiefs.
I think it's Tom Brady, right?
I believe it's A, Cowboys.
I think I'm stuck between E, Chiefs, or D, Patriots. Honestly, I'm going to go with Chiefs.
Only person that was right was Philip. Tom Brady has more Super Bowls than a single NFL team. Tom Brady has 7 Super Bowls, and the Patriots and Steelers are tied for the most at 6. He went to the Buccaneers. That's how he won one more Super Bowl. So, what pick was Josh Allen in the 2018 NFL Draft? The choices are A, 5th, B, 2nd, C, 7th, or D, 10th.
I think he was the 7th pick. 7th or 5th? I'm going to go 7th. I was going to say 5th.
Right.
I think 5th pick.
I'm going to go with C, 7.
All right, Brandon and Philip are both right. It was 7th. We're going to be 2 more questions. Who won Super Bowl 20? A, the Bears. A, the Packers. B, the Bears. C, the Cowboys. D, the 49ers.
If I'm not wrong, I think that's 85 Bears. I'm not too sure, but I know it was around that time. Bears were unstoppable then. I'm going to pick the Bears, I think. Super Bowl 20.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't know. Let's pick randomly. Let's go with the 49ers. D.
I agree, probably 49ers.
Philip is right again.
Damn
it was the Bears.
Yeah.
And the final question, what player did I high-five in the NFL that was captured on camera? And my high-five with him was on the NFL Honors. Cool. It was a cool experience. Then he went on after that to win Defensive Player of the Year in that same NFL Honors. Is it A, Rob Gronkowski, B, Quinnen Williams, C, Stephon Gilmore, or D, Aaron Donald?
Is it B, Quinnen Williams?
I'm going to have to go with B.
2019 Defensive Player of the Year, that was Aaron Donald. So I'm just going to throw that out there. I think it's D.
You are all wrong. 2019 Defensive Player of the Year was Stephon Gilmore from the Patriots. See up here. I high-fived him on TV. It's pretty cool. And yeah, and a cool fact is I also got Quinnen Williams to sign my football while wearing a Patriots jersey. Alright, folks, so today I'm going to be predicting my New England Patriots rest of the regular season schedule. So let's get started. They currently sit at 2-6, and now they take on the Bears this coming weekend. Week number 10, I think we're going to lose to the Bears. As much as Drake May has played great football, but I don't think we beat the Bears here. Then we take on the Rams. That is a loss. Then we take on the Dolphins. I think that is another loss. And then we play the Colts. I think this is a trap game for the Colts. I think the Patriots are going to beat the Colts, get it done here. Then we play the Cardinals. I think we win 2 in a row. Cardinals have been playing good football, but I see our team winning this game. I see the Patriots getting it done. Then we play the Bills. I think that's a loss there. But then we take on the Chargers, and I think we beat the Chargers. I think we destroy the Chargers. This is the game where Drake May really shows up. So we beat the Chargers, and then in Week 18, a game where the Bills are probably resting a lot of players, I think we beat the Bills. So I see the Patriots ending the season at 6-11. So yeah, that's my prediction for the New England Patriots rest of the season. All right, folks. So, we are the Soma Sports Broadcasting Club.
We'll see you next week.